Tata Harrier and Safari, two very popular names in the midsize SUV space. Great build quality, good road presence and impressive features. Both these SUVs have plenty going in favor of them. However, there was one big chink in the armor. They didn't offer a petrol engine option until now. Tata has now addressed this concern by adding a petrol engine option. So without wasting any time, let's get straight into it. Design-wise, there are no changes whatsoever, not even a different badging. Let us hop inside the cabin and see whether there are some changes or not. Now I have hopped inside the cabin and the story remains pretty much the same. Now this is in fact the Safari Red Dark Edition, and that is why you get these red upholstered seats and this contrast red stitching up here. But the overall layout remains pretty much the same. You get the soft touch material up here, and the overall build quality, as you expect from Tata, it's pretty damn good. And yeah, the overall layout is pretty much the same. However, there are three big additions as far as features are concerned. Now the first big addition is this one, the 14.5-inch Samsung Neo QLED touchscreen infotainment system that made its debut with the Harrier EV. It has now been passed on to the petrol variants. I'm sure this feature will be passed on to the diesel variants in the future as well. The other two big feature additions are camera-based IRVM with digital recording and camera washers. But of course, you want to know more about the engine, so let's get into it. Now I have hopped onto the driver's seat. I am driving the Tata Safari with the 1.5 litre TGDi turbo-petrol engine, which Tata calls it the Hyperion series. This is paired with a 6-speed torque converter sourced from Aisin, and the experience isn't too different from the diesel, to be honest. Yes, it is definitely smoother, quieter than the diesel. The refinement levels is certainly better. The vibrations on this engine are actually very well contained. You only get to feel this when you give the throttle a good push. It is only then when you get to hear that boomy little noise, the clattery nature of this engine comes in play. Otherwise, it stays refined for most parts. That said, when you give the throttle a good push, there is a tad bit delay in response. You miss the inherent torquey nature of the diesel here. So there is a slight delay, certainly. That means you need to plan your overtakes quite smartly. But whenever the car starts feeling a little lethargic, the paddle shifters give you that added control and make things a bit more engaging behind the wheel. Another key thing to point out is that this car, the petrol version of the Safari and the Harrier, they are 80 kilos lighter than their diesel counterpart. Although Tata hasn't yet revealed the exact figures, but from the driver's point of view, you don't actually feel that reduction in weight actually. Yes, the steering is nimble, quite light, but gains heft as you increase the speed, but it's very precise. One thing that has disappointed me slightly are the braking. I mean, for a car that is on the heavier side, so in the larger side, the braking needed a bit more bite, and this is where Tata Motors could have made an improvement, I believe. Now I have hopped onto the Harrier, and is the story any different? Not really. The engine is quiet and refined for most parts, and only starts to growl when you rev it up high. And yes, it's pretty much the same as the Safari. You get the same engine behavior, similar levels of refinement, and a familiar balance between comfort and drivability. If you have ever driven the diesel Harrier, this will instantly feel familiar, just with the petrol powertrain under the hood. But more than engine performance, it is about providing a comfortable family car for long journeys, which these two SUVs continue to fulfill in their gasoline avatars. The addition of a petrol engine option will not only help Tata to tap into a new segment of buyers who don't wish to buy diesel cars, but also help Tata to price these cars lower. With decent levels of refinement at an expected lower price point, the Harrier and Safari petrol are definitely going to create ripples in this segment. Will this one eat into the sales of the Sierra? Now that's something only time will tell. As of now, Tata hasn't announced the prices of the Safari and the Harrier petrol variants, but we expect them to be priced competitively enough to the rivals. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to the Acko Drive channel.